close to thee.
For I say close to thee, Lord, close to thee.
Close to thee.
For I say close to thee, Lord, close to thee.
All along my pilgrim journey.
For I say all along my pilgrim journey. I say, Savior, let me walk with thee. For I say now my ever-living portion.
Blessed greetings,
For I say
my lords and empresses, prince and princesses, one and all listeners. You're listening to Bobo Antony, the Right Honorable, on blessedradio.org, four winds of the earth. With your churchical Naya Bingo, Bobo Shanti Irish, for Jamaica. Music by Daniel #1 band. Oh, what a band. And choruses by the archangels and the angels of the Most High. Blessed upright. Be blessed in His holiness. Be blessed in His righteousness. Be blessed, children of the Most High. Holy King Emmanuel, I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Yes, blessed love, my lords and empresses, prince and princesses, one and all listeners. As you know, you're listening to Bobo Antony every Sunday from 10 to 12 with the Naya Bingi Irish. Today's show shall be consisted of a prayer, as usual. Glory be unto the Father, and unto the Son, and unto the Holy Ones of creation. Then we're going to be reading from the book of Psalms, the sacred seals of King David, seal 78. Then we're going to be reading from Genesis 49, the blessings of the sons of Jacob, following on to Exodus 1 to 4. Then we shall be reading from the prophetical fulfillment and comparison of Christ. Words from Isaiah 16, verse 5, and words from Haile Selassie the First. Then if we have little time left, we hear some of my words. Blessed uprising, children of the Most High. Glory be unto His name, for His name is Rastafari.
And the gate of life eternal.
For I say join the gates of life eternal. For I say I enter, Lord, with thee.
Yes, for those that are rising up in England today, sun is shining. It's a wonderful new day. Bringing new things, new thoughts, new love, new ideas, new ideals. But remember, righteousness remains the same. So we call unto His holy and righteous name. Holy King Emmanuel, I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari.
voice of death, saying Israel, follow me.
And I, Selassie, I, Jah, Rastafari.
Prince and princess shall come out of Egypt. Ethiopian shall stretch forth your hands unto God, Selassie, I,
Jah, Rastafari.
Oh, wonderfulness, wonderful choruses from the angels of the Most High. Blessed uprising, blessed greetings to all my listeners, them that have been with me from the beginning, and the new ones that are just sitting, and be blessed by His holiness. Holy King Emmanuel, I King Selassie, I Jah Rastafari. As we get ready, to listen to the 7 priests upon the altar of Melchizedek. Sit back and relax, and let righteousness bind you and guide you and keep you and harmoniously soothe you. Holy Emmanuel, I King Selassie, Jah Rastafari. Is a man and a woman that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor seated in the seat of the scornful. But they delighted in the law of the Lord, and in his law do they meditate day and night. And they shall be like the tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth good fruits in due season. Their leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever they do it shall prosper. Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine such a vanity? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bonds asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in Zion shall laugh. The Almighty Father of Israel shall have them in the region. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them with his sword in pleasure. Yet if I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion, Bless us, Almighty Father, that no one may curse us. Guide us, O Most High, Mighty God, along the way. Keep us, O Most High, Mighty, under thy loving wings. Let the children sing. Let the church bells ring. Mighty Father, blessed Father, Holy One of Israel. The I am, the mighty, I am the black, I am that I am, said the mighty, I am that I am. Be blessed in thy holiness, O children of the Most High. Holy King Emmanuel, I, Hail Selassie. You're listening to Bobo, Antony on blessradio.org. Internationally, 4 wings of the earth, the peculiar jewels of the Most High. Be blessed in thy holiness. Let us proceed. What a wonderful iration. Oh, it's a wonderment to full joy and to join in with the angels of the Most High. You know, because me rise up this morning, too, me not really sleep good last night still, you know. I'm a rise up this morning and I have certain other things to deal with. So it's good for just come in and full joy in the eyes, you know, and sing along, you know, and open up the heart, you know. Work it, you know, I mean, make it just whistle, you know. Yeah, so we do strengthen the heart, you know, with song. Strengthen the heart with song, with good words, with good sounds, you know, and bring out the power and the light of the words within the I and I art. Come and glorify the King, you know. Bobo Shanti, you know, Iration, you know, every Sunday from 10 to 12, right here on blessradio.org internationally. Four wings of the earth, you know. The house of Bobo, you know, yeah, the angels of the Most High. Sitting, be blessed in his holiness, for he's a righteous Father. You know the man them by their works. You know the man them that come by their works, and their works is done. From one man come, every man get for walk through. When the king come, every man get for walk through. Through the king come. When the king come, when the priest come, every man get for walk through. Opening the doors of righteousness. You know every man by their works. We know him by his works. Let us bless him this morning. You know, for man come and man go, carrying the ever-living spirit of Christ. The Father said he would never leave us without a priest or a prophet to guide us from generation to generation. Come we trust in the Father, no man, and walk in the light of his majesty. Holy King Emmanuel, I King Selassie, I Jah, Rastafari. pot of herb, an ital stew. Holistically good feeling. Go good with Naya Bingo, drums, and the whole vibration.
This heavenly calm within the breast. Start your pledge of glorious rest.
Yes. My lords and empresses, prince and princesses, one and all listeners, I truly do give thanks for your company this morning still. You know, I hope you're enjoying the beginnings of this ireful iration, beautiful creation from out of the creation of his creation. For it's a first creation, and what was in the beginning shall be in the end, and the first shall be the last, and the last shall be first. We cannot deny that, and we cannot deny the words that speaketh of these things. For the word that speaketh of these things and said these things, knoweth all things. You know, so we give thanks for this day. That we can glorify our King freely of heart, because before we couldn't speak of a black Christ. We couldn't even look towards the beginning of our own beginnings. Yet today, ones have come through the womb, and stand in the light of the Lord with his lineage, his heritage, and with his holy word. Imagine that. From out of nowhere, life cometh through the womb. Grow it like a mustard seed, and is blessed by all of the word and the light and the strength and the power to redeem and to salvate. We give thanks for the Father, truly we do. For He's our saving grace. Like I said, one time we couldn't look. You speak of a black Christ, and one will curse you. Everybody looked to a white Christ. A Christ that couldn't really redeem the black house of Israel. Yet could redeem through word, for the word remains the same. And if a white minister the word in the right and proper way, from the beginning to the end, then it's feasible and acceptable. But one's come with the redeeming power, with the light of the world, side by side the King of Kings. People still deny the King of Kings. But we who know the King of Kings, we adore him. For today, red, gold, and green is everywhere. Not only in the heavens, but on the earth. In the hearts and in the minds and in the souls. Today is a preparation of righteousness and a glorification to our King, who came and proclaimed himself in the midst of all of us, that we may see him as he is and know him as he is. That anything outside of that may vanquish and vanish away. The white Christ slowly backs into the memory of slavery, servitude, and oppression. And the black Christ rises like the light of the world, with redemption and salvation for all. Who can refuse the stone, the builder's stone? Who can refuse the head cornerstone? Who can refuse the head cornerstone? It's not a crime to bless him. It's not a crime to know him. It's not a crime to praise the living God of creation. It's a blessing for all. For things must be things must balance. Things must be in order. And if one's heart is in order, order is a nutriment, a nourishment, a betterment, and a wonderment, and a glory. For we all make claim to greatness, man. But God makes claim to the creation of all creation. He's omnipotent, our Father. And he's a glorious King. His provision provided for all. And he set it abundantly. Yet man do suffer. Yet people cry. And yet we go a hunger. But one thing, his word remaineth the same. He's the father of the fatherless, father of the widow, and the father of the poor and the needy. Let us bless our Father this day while Naya Binge music played. Let us bless our Father, for the glorious creation that he set before us. Unwalkable, unfathomable. Who is like unto him? Tell me now. Who is like unto the King of Kings? No one. He is the giver of all things. Anything you buy anyway, it comes from him first. That's why we have to go praise him and receive his blessing and strengthen him. We're not weaken Jaja. We're not stray from Jaja. We run to him and strengthen him that he may look to us and say, my sons, my daughters are acknowledging me. Come we await the Lion with dignity and integrity, purity and servitude. Holy King Emmanuel, King Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Listening to Bobo Antony on blessradio.org internationally. Full joy, the wonderment and the glory of Rastafari. Yes, giving praises, you know. Father say, I and I for meditate, especially in this time, upon him. Meditate upon him the whole day. Meditate upon the Father 24/7. Meditate upon righteousness 24/7. Doing of right, living in right, being of right, speaking of right, upful in thy ways, ancient of days, everything right, bringing right to the forefront and putting it before thee, helping one another, guiding one another, sharing with one another in the ways of right, working with one another and sorting things out with one another. It binds the unity what we speak of. It binds the strength that we need. Nothing no wrong in asking. Nothing no wrong in seeking. But you have to know what to ask for. And have to know what to seek. Especially in this time. Many things we can seek in this time. Because everything done seek out already. All the pillars them set for the secular world to rise, to work towards, and the gates to go through. But in the doing of these things, in the doing of these practical things for the secular world, and the health of the population, we forsake the ways of the Lord. We have no time for the Sabbath. We have no time for the Creator of creation, who set all creation, the boundaries and the laws, the heavens and the earth. It's hard to believe that righteousness is missing within the whole spectrum of creation this day. You have to go in secret places to find righteousness. When righteousness should be at the forefront of every battle, at the forefront of every system. The commandments should be the laws and the foundation of every institution. And righteousness should be taught in the schools, especially now. When I was at school in England, we used to get little RE. About 3 or 4 of us was in the class. But we go take the little RE coming home, my God. You know? I mean, them take the RE from schools. You know what I mean? If we put in Christ back in the school, look how much Christ man debout. Christ man debout in a abundance nowadays can get a job in a excuse me in a school all about work debout moves all religions can get work in a schools to betterment the rising of the subject which is at school. Rasta children are in school. Church of England children are in school. Muslim children are in school. Christian children are in school. And atheist children are in school. But what is the quail? What will quail? What will curve? Haughtiness, forwardness, folly, foolishness. A word of right. Father said, soft words take it away right. Harsh words stir it up. War. And that's what them left I and I too. Harsh words to stir up war. That's all the youth them do, you know. Them can't even get along unless them talk to them one another hard and bad. You want to see how them angle the little girl then? And how them are going. They roll out there by themselves. We need RE in the schools. I mean, religious education. in every school. And then for go in a class, because them would know say, you live by the gun, you die by it. You live by the knife, you die by it. You live by the sword, you die by it. And a good teacher will teach them good. Let us bless the Father in the heavens. Let us glorify His holy and righteous name, for He is holy. You know, them and those that publish the works of the Most High, you know, yeah, publish, you know, in the name of the Mighty High. You know, time now we reach the hearts of men and people. You know, the souls, you know, the good souls before corruption, for corruption is on every side. Newborn arising, baby upon the breast, fatherless children. In a world that is in a mess, who's gonna teach them? The schools don't even have RE, religious education. Seek it out. Because that's gonna be the stemming, the really true stemming with some good teachers. The really good stemming for the children. It's one way, the best way to give the children righteousness. Solomon said, in the Songs of Solomon, he said, youth man, enjoy yourself. Drink and be merry. But never forget your God. Never forget your God. Because he said, if you forget your God, when you're burnt out and you have no God, your life would have all gone. He said he called upon the youths because they are strong. Seek ye the right, youth man. Seek ye not the wrong. Live by the sword, you die by it. Live by the gun, you die by it. These are the words of the Almighty. Holy King Emmanuel I, King Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. You're listening to Bobo Antony on blessradio.org internationally, four wings of the earth, wherever the Father have driven them, we bless them. Oh peculiar jewel of mine, said the mighty Father, my firstborn child, come back unto me, come back unto me. I am a jealous God after thee. Yeah, man. Let us praise our Father in the heavens of heavens. Let us glorify his holy and righteous name, for it is holy. Holy Melchizedek Nigo Salam. Habadawni I God. Emmanuel I. King Selassie I. Jah. Rastafari. Worthy to be praised, you know. Oh, what a iration, man, to praise the living God of creation. Stand up for Negus, all ye warriors of the black Christ of salvation, and glorify his holy and righteous name. For it's him who came, and him who bless, that we may have a way so glorious and full of interest. He's a righteous Father. He's a blessed Father. He's the Holy One of Israel. Holy King Emmanuel. King Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Reading from the book of Psalms. Psalms 78. I better get on with the show when I tell you so what a wonderful idea. The item all right? More blessings to the item, man. I just blessings, you know. I just blessings, man. I have nothing to say to no one but to bless them. Be blessed in his holiness. A Bobo Antony, the right honorable. Give ear, O my people, to my law. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old, which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us. We will not hide them from their children, showing to the generation to come the praises of the Lord, and his strength, and his wonderful works that he hath done. For he established the testimony in Jacob, and appointed the law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children, that the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children, that they might set their hope in God, and not forget the works of God, but keep his commandments, and might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that set not their heart aright, and whose spirit was not steadfast with God. The children of Ephraim, being armed and carried bows, turned back in the day of battle. They kept not the covenant of God, and refused to walk in his law, and forgot his work and his wonders that he had shewed them. Marvelous things did he in the sight of their fathers, in the land of Egypt, in the field of Zohan. He divided the sea and caused them to pass through. He made the waters to stand as an heap. In the daytime also he led them with a cloud, and all the night with the light of fire. He cleaved the rocks in the wilderness, and gave them drink as out of the great depths. He brought streams also out of the rock. He caused waters to run down like rivers. And they sinned yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness. And they tempt God in their hearts by asking meat for their loss. Yeah, they spake against God. They said, can God furnish a table in the wilderness? A hungry them did hungry, you know. Can God furnish a table in the wilderness, boy, Israel? Oh, no, easy, but I tell you. Excuse me, Chacha. Wait. Excuse me. Oh, forgive me. I let me find that, but forgive me. Yeah, Holy King Emmanuel, I King Selassie, I Jah, Rastafari. Yeah, they spake against God and said, can God furnish a table in the wilderness? Behold, he smote the rock, that the waters gushed out, and the streams overflowed. Can he give bread also? Can he provide flesh for his people? Therefore the people heard this, and was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger also came up against Israel, because they believed not in God, and trust not in salvation. Though he had commanded the clouds from above, and opened the doors of heaven, and had rained down manna upon them to eat, and had given them of the corn of heaven. Man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. He caused an east wind to blow in the heavens, and by his power he brought in the south wind. He rained flesh also upon them as dust, and feathered fowls like as the sand of the sea. And he let it fall in the midst of their camp, round and about their habitation. So they did eat, and were well filled, for he gave them their own desire. They were not estranged from their loss, but while their meat was yet in their mouth, the wrath of God came upon them, and slew the fattest of them, and smote down the chosen men of Israel. For all this they sinned still, and believed not for his wondrous works. Therefore their days did he consume in vanity, and their years in trouble. When he slew them, then they sought him, and they returned and required early after God. And they remembered that God was their rock, and the high God their redeemer. Nevertheless, they did flutter him with their mouth, and they lied unto him with their tongues. For their hearts were not right with him, neither were they steadfast in his covenant. But he, being full of compassion, forgave their iniquity, and destroyed them not. Yea, many a time turned he his anger away, and did not stir up all the wrath. For he remembered that they were but flesh, a wind that passeth away, and cometh not again. How oft did they provoke him in the wilderness, and get great and grieved him in the desert? Yea, they turned back and tempted God, and limited the Holy One of Israel. They remembered not the hands, nor the day when he delivered them from the enemy, how he had wrought his signs in Egypt, and his wonders in the field of Zohan, and had turned their rivers into blood, and their floods that they could not drink. He sent drivers sort of flies among them. He devoured them, and frogs, which he destroyed them. He gave also their increase unto the caterpillar, and their labor to the locust. He destroyed their vines with hail, and their sycamore trees with frost. He gave up their cattle also to the hail, and their flocks to hot thunderbolts. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation, and troubled by sending evil angels among them. He made a way to his anger. He spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence, and smote all the firstborn of Egypt, the chief of their strength, and in the tabernacle of Ham, but made his own people to go forth like sheep, and guided them in the wilderness like a flock. And he led them on safety, so that they feared not. But the sea overwhelmed their enemies, and he brought them to the border of his sanctuary, even to his mountain, which his right hand had purchased. He cast out the heathen also before them. He divided them an heritage by line, and made the tribes of Israel to dwell in their tents. Yet they tempted and provoked the Most High God, and kept not his testimonies, but turned back and dealt unfaithfully. Like their fathers, they were turned aside like a deceitful roe. For they provoked him to anger with their high places, and moved them to jealousy with their graven images. When God heard this, he was wroth, and greatly abhorred Israel, so that he forsook the tabernacle of Sholah, the tent which he placed among them, and delivered his strength unto captivity, and his glory unto the enemy's hand. He gave his people over also unto the sword, and was wroth with his inheritance. The fire consumed their young men, and their maidens were not given to marriage. Their priests fell by the sword, and their widows made no lamentation. When the Lord awaked as one of the sheep, and like a mighty man, the shout by reason of wine. And he smote his enemies in the hinder part. He smote his enemies in the hinder part. He put them to a perpetual reproach. Joseph, and chose not the tribes of Ephraim, but chose the tribe of Judah, the Mount Zion which he loved. And he built his sanctuary like high palaces, like the earth which he have established forever. He chose David also his servant, and took him from the sheepfold, from following the Awi great with young. He brought him to feed Jacob his people, and Israel his inheritance. So he fed them according to the integrity of his heart, and guided them by the skillfulness of his hands. These are the words of the Almighty, written by King David, Holy King Emmanuel, I, King Selassie, I, Jah, Rastafari. You're listening to Bobo Antony as we continue. Stand up for niggas. In the prophecy, book of Isaiah, the Father said, all nations shall turn their war elements into elements of work and labor. No nation shall lift up weapon against another nation. And all will be under the order of the commandments of the first father of creation. Stand up for Negus. Blessed love, my lords and empresses, prince and princesses, one and all listeners. I hope the eye them irie. Good things to do today, you know. Yeah, if nothing no did if you do today, you know, do anything that's good. You know, if you know nothing to do, you know, and you want something to do something that's good and right and pure, you know. Put that under your belt. You know what I mean? Jam that in your vault. You know what I mean? Because what is written upon the earth is known in the heavens. You know, so judge know all things. You know, so come we do good. That good may follow us, you know. He's a mighty Father, you know. Blessed Father. He's the Holy One of Israel, our blessed Father. Holy King Emmanuel, I. King Selassie, I. Jah. Rastafari. Reading from the book of Genesis. Genesis chapter 49, for them who have their Bibles close to them. You could have just, you know, we just got through it with I, you know, yeah, as I and I read. Holy King Emmanuel I, King Selassie I, Jah. Rastafari, seal of my love. And Jacob called his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and the excellency of power. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou went up to thy father's bed, then defiled thou it. He went up to my couch. Simeon and Levi were brethren, instruments of cruelty, or in their inhabitation. O my soul, came not thou unto their secrets, unto their assembly, mine honor be not thou united, for in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. So you see with Reuben, if he just stop, if he love mama, with all of him heart, love mama with all of him heart, because him is the excellency of strength. And you see Simeon and Levi, them not fi do nothing together, because that fi them trouble. They slew a man together. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion whelp from the prey. My son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall arouse him up? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor the lawgiver from between his feet, until Shaul cometh. And unto him shall the gathering of the people be, binding his fold unto the vine, and his ass colt unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. Judah have everything, the father, as you hear, but Judah's strength, Judah had the strength, The scepter shall not depart from Judah until Shaul come, the lawgiver come. See? But Judah without a heart is a devil, because Judah is love. Judah was given permission because Levi was too rigid and got self-righteous. So the father gave the law given to Judah because of his heart and his strength. But Judah without a heart is a devil, for he has too much power without love. You're listening to Bobo Antony on Bless FM, on blessradio.org internationally. Zebulun shall dwell in the heavens of the sea, and he shall be for an haven of ships, and his borders shall be unto Zidon. Zebulun. Zebulun's color is pink, yet there is no pink on the rainbow. So Zebulun, true, he dwells in the heavens and the sea, and he shall be for an haven ship, and his border shall be unto Zidon. Zebulun dana everything. Him dana the rivers of life, and him dana the heavens. Yet his color, pink, is not on the rainbow, because Zebulun is the inner man. When you go inside of the man, it is pink. The intestines of a man is pink, and Zebulun is what? The stomach. Holy King Emmanuel, you're listening to Bobo Antony on blessradio.org internationally. Be blessed in his holiness. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the part that biteth the horse's heel, so that his rider shall fall backward. I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord. Dan, as it is there. Dan is judgment. Dan waiteth upon the Lord day and night, night and day. But if Dan no get where him forget, him bite you. If Dan no like where you deal with, him bite you and bring you down. You know? So Dan, you have to keep yourself steady and know when you bite and when you judge. You know? So you know, judge quickly, because our judgment is up to Jah really. And you know, bite quickly. You know what I mean, Dan? Because sometimes you bite quick. I mean, and sometimes you're too quick for judge. Holy Emmanuel, I King Selassie, I Jah. Rastafari, that Jah said. God. The Father said, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome him at last. Bobo Antony is from the tribe of Gad. And that's all the Father said about me, you know. I mean, him say a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at last. See, that don't really say it, man. Well, him knows I mean everything still, you know. I mean, him knows I mean, him not, but him just know say, when time for come, me always walking. Me always reaching. For God bless a child that has his own. Holy King Emmanuel I, King Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. Out of Asher, his beard shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Asher tycoon still. Asher know if deal with money. Asher know if deal with royal people. I just saw Asher stay. Asher and Gad have the said mother, Leah. You know, and the same father. Them a brother from a different mother. Them a brother and father. Them a one brother still, you know. But two different tribes because Asher mother are Leah and Gad mother are Leah. And Asher father Jacob and Gad father Jacob. You ever see anything like that? But them are two different tribes. Well, are just two different months still. Holy King Emmanuel I, King Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari, seal of my Lord. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He give it godly words. Just so. You know, just walk and publish the works of the Most High. And he give it, him just do same thing in his own fashion. But he gives godly words. Joseph is a fruitful bra, even a fruitful bra by the well, whose branches run over the well, whose archers have sorely grieved him, and shot at him, and hated him. But his bow abode in strength, and the arm of his hands were made strong by the hands of the Almighty God of Jacob. From hence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel, even by the God of thy father. Who shall help thee? And by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with blessings of heaven, above blessings of the deep, that life under blessings of the beast, blessings of the womb, blessings of the fathers have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitor, unto the utmost bounds of everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separated from his brethren. So we all know Joseph full of blessing. Cause out of everyone of the brother them, are just Joseph and Benjamin one. Never earth father. You know? All of the brother them take Joseph and fling him in a pit because him father buy him a robe and turban. Just because him father buy him a multicolored robe, you know, to go with him turban, you know. Him brother them say, wait, what go on? One prefer me one. Me myself, you know. If with my pitney them, me not buy one for one and not buy one for the other. That to me that not right. Cause me no grocer. But Joseph and Dada have them own personal relationship, and him see things in a Joseph that he never seen in the rest of them. Not even in a Judah. And Judah the heart. So you see, when I speak, I speak no falsely. All of the brother them put Joseph in at the pit. And even with big Judah, who are filled with king, you know, who have the heart, him heart turn to stone. And him go for kill him brother. Judah, you know. So you see, just the robe there, the shanty robe there, the multicolored, father buy one robe, and him have 12 pitney. Yeah, but you why that sometimes it's hard to have a special one, but when you have a special one, you have to, yeah, and him tell you things so highly, you have to reward them, man. And the other one, they for satisfy, man. You know? Yeah, I just that. Where we there now? Benjamin shall ravin as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoils. All these are, so you see now, with Benjamin now, him are the youngest brother, you know. All of him brother them gone left him, you know, as a youth, you know. Him have to get food for Dada. Him have to do everything for Dada. Because remember, Dada sick by the time Benjamin come, you know. Benjamin went out in the woods, you know. Fight off everything, you know. Kill off everything, you know, and bring in everything, you know. I'm terrible, you know, even to this day. See? I just saw Benjamin stay because I'm the youngest brother. And he did have so much upon his shoulder. All of him brother them gone. Him have to do everything. Nobody will teach him. That's why Joseph did love him so much. And did want get to him because just him one never do him nothing. Out of all of him brother them. These are the words of the Father. You're listening to Bobo Antony. You know, yeah, with a word of right. Holy King Emmanuel I. King Selassie I. Jah. Rastafari. The 12 tribes of Israel. I must say for the Empress them, 1 minute. I'm just seeing if it mentions Leah here. Danya, I should say. Danya. It doesn't mention our sister Danya right here at the moment. But we have one sister, and that one sister make up all the women them in the world. Be blessed in thy holiness, children of the Most High. Holy King Emmanuel I, King Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari.
Keep cool, Babylon. I don't know what you say. I say keep cool, Babylon. You don't know what you're doing. Still I say depend. Jagata lightning and thunder to clear the way, and whirlwind come and blow them away. Keep cool, keep cool. Still I say the I say keep cool, Babylon. You don't know what you're doing. I say keep cool, Babylon. You don't know what you're saying. I say keep cool, Babylon. You don't know what you're doing. Jagata lightning and thunder to clear the way, and whirlwind comes and blow them away. Keep cool, keep cool, till I see the band. Oh Lord, oh excellent is thy name in all the earth. Who have set thy glory above the heavens? Out of the mouth of babe and suckling of the warden straight, oh Lord most high, that thou mightest still the enemy and the avenge, oh Lord great God. When I consider the heaven the work of thy fingers, moon and the star which thou hast ordained, what is man that thou art mindful of him? Or the son of man that thou visitest him? Thou hast created him a little lower than the angels. Crown him with glory and honor, O Lord most high. Give him dominion over the work of all thy hands, work of all thy fingers, O great God. All fowl of the air and fish of the sea, beast of the field and whatsoever passes through the parts of the sea. Oh Lord, excellent is thy name in all the earth. Excellent Manuel, Celestia, Jah, Rastafari, Jah, Rastafari. Up with the promised land at this hour. Could the and go to heaven to see your Father? Black coats of Israel must inherit the land of promise, the Lord most high, Celestia.
Oh, wonderment and glory, man. To hear the children of the Most High prophesy in such skillful wonderment. Oh, the Father said, drink from the cup of righteousness. He said, if my word pass away from your earth, you're gone. If you know no salt, where you go get salt from? We can't give you none of my oil. Go and buy oil, said the empress to the princess. Come we eat and drink. Come we sup. Everything what's right. For its word manifests itself into flesh. Not flesh manifests itself into word. Word manifests itself into flesh. Man and woman made he them most righteous. And where we gone? It's a glory for you, the children of the Most High. Glorify the King's name. And proclaim in such fashion. Let us give thanks to the Almighty. Holy King Emmanuel, King Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. In truth shall the throne be established. He shall sit upon it in truth in the form of David, judging and seeking judgment and hastening righteousness. King Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. We in Ethiopia have one of the oldest virgins of the Bible. But however old the virgin may be, in whatever language it might be written, the word remaineth one and the same. It transcends all boundaries of empires and all conceptions of race. It is eternal. No doubt you all remember reading in the Acts of the Apostle how Philip baptized the Ethiopian official. He is the first Ethiopian on record to have followed Christ. And from that day onwards, the word of God has continued to grow in the hearts of Ethiopians. And I might say for myself that from early childhood, I was taught to appreciate the Bible, and my love for it increases with the passage of time. Although all through my troubles, I have found it a cause of infinite comfort. Come to me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Who can resist an invitation so full of compassion? Because of this personal experience in the goodness of the Bible, I was resolved that all my countrymen should also share its great blessing, and that by reading the Bible they should find truth for themselves. Therefore I cause a new translation to be made from our ancient language into the language which the old and the young understood and spoke. Today men see all his hopes and aspirations crumbling before him. He is perplexed and knows not whether he is drifting, but he must realize that the Bible is his refuge and a rallying point for all humanity. In it man will find the solution of his present difficulties and guidance for his future actions. And unless he accepts with a clear conscience the Bible and its great message, he cannot hope for salvation. For my part, I glory in the Bible. Haile Selassie I, the Emperor of Ethiopia. Give us oil in our lamps, Dada. Give us all oil in our lamps, O Most Mighty, my Lord. Yes, my lords and empresses, prince and princesses, one and all listeners to bless. Blessing of the priests, anywhere in the day, priests of the Most High. Glory be the one to thy holy and righteous name. All the prophets, stand up for Negos. Shine a light before men and people. Oh, glorify his holy and righteous name. Oh, prophetess, oh, glorious and oh, virtuous thou art. In thy righteousness, be blessed in thy holiness, be blessed in thy righteousness, be blessed continually now and forever. Oh, prince and princesses, sure. Come in and be blessed, you know. I just dada love for you all. Congregation of the Most High, come in and take a seat, man. For where one and two are, 2 or 3 are there, the Almighty shall be. Holy King Emmanuel, I, King Selassie, I, Jah, Rastafari, be blessed in his holiness. Listen us to bless this morning. Be blessed in thy righteousness, and be steady in thy goings and in thy comings. No peace in my house. Take a sheet. I work 5 days a week. Give her money to buy food, and the cupboard them empty. Only ice in the fridge. It's hard, mankind have to live. Pure noise in my head. Money, money, money. Always in trees. Money, money, money. Never you good. How work go today? You alright? Come here, make me rub your back. You look tired. You're tired. Just money, money, money. In trees. Sometimes me have to say that the only Trinity she believe in, a true What you say? A brawling woman is like a house without a rooftop. And a me, I pay for that. Right as me can, right now, me can't please even myself. After me pay me bills, buy a little herb, while she sit down all day I eat out the food. She must think man can work pan empty belly. Me know me must grumpy. What? Color look, where me color look what it there? Me leave in the fridge. Me eat it. You eat it? So what you feel? What you feel me a go eat? What you feel me buy it for? No fi eat it. Why, you man? Me love you, you know. But me I tell you, man, you know easy. I go walk here and clear my mind. If the Christ, they have silver and gold to give all would be in church before him. But because him come as the Lamb, only them that understand are blessed by his peace. Holy Emmanuel, King Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. All blessings going through, children of the Most High. Blessed love. Until next week.